Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Scotty. Have you ever wondered why your attention feels like it's pulled in a million directions? Well, today I want to talk about attention and how that's the new currency. And you got to pay attention because that's where your attention goes. So, talking about attention as a currency, right? And the value of it, where you put your attention and where you focus on is where you manifest, is where you create, is what grows. Those are the seeds you're dropping. It is the water you're putting onto those seeds, and you're growing those trees. And if you think about it, where your attention goes, everything will grow. And in this day and age, it is very, very hard to keep your attention in line because everybody's fighting for it. Because everybody knows where your attention goes, grows, right? So if you're on the news, you're in the paper, you're watching movies, whatever content you're looking at, be mindful of that content because that's what you're going to feed. That's what you're going to create. That is what you're going to ask more of. So it's really being mindful of what content you're paying attention to. What are you watching? What are you looking at? And what are you consuming over and over and over? The way our brains work, they just pick up signals and release dopamine. They release different chemicals. And you can easily find yourself getting addicted and putting your attention to something that is just not getting you in the right direction, not growing to the person you want to be. I think about a personal instance in my life. When I was younger, I was a big horror fan. Yeah, horror movies. And I watched a bunch of them as a young kid. And as I grew up, and I'd always go see the new one. Oh, this is coming out. I'm going to check this out. And in this day and age, I'm kind of glad that the movie industry just doesn't have much going on. They just kind of tend to remake and rehash a lot of them. So I stopped over 10 years ago. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop consuming fear and scared and, the things you would find in a horror movie. And all of a sudden I found, I was desensitized at that time. And then I find myself more sensitive, more empathy toward people, more growth in my life. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to consume that content. You hear the things in the movie. Wow. Did I used to listen to that? Like a lot? Like, I don't want to hear that in this world. I don't want to manifest that in my life. I don't want to have that created in the relationships of the people, the places around me. So why am I consuming so much of it? And it was a big change in my life. And then I started kind of continuing on my journey and on my journey that I'm currently on. And what you pay attention to grows. And I'm not saying you're going to find yourself in a horror movie. But if you find yourself in desperation, screaming, yelling, arguing, all these things going on, and you're consistently watching and paying attention to that, you're going to bring that into your life. You're going to feed it, whatever that is that's growing. You're going to give attention to it. Fear is actually something that your mind latches onto. It is one of the most potent attention grabbers out there. Why? Because we want to be safe. We want to be comfortable, right? So if something fearful comes up, hey, there's a lion. Oh, I know what to do. I got to get the heck out of there, right? Well, they use that. Everybody uses that. And fear is a huge push right now in this day and age. If you haven't known, probably haven't gone outside in a while. But it's something that they are pushing every time to get your attention. Every headline. Hey, look at this, look at this, look at this. And if you keep feeding a fear and paying attention to fear, what's going to manifest more in your life? What's going to be created? What's going to show up more? And then you're going to get addicted to fear. But you're going to be like, oh, well, what's going on with here? Oh, what's up? I got to keep up with this. I got to keep up with that. Did you hear that yesterday? I got to keep up with it today. I got to check on it all the time. I got to keep grabbing my phone. I got to keep grabbing my phone, put on the TV, whatever it is that you're paying attention to. It's that fear. And your mind and your body don't really know the difference between if you're in true danger or not. As if you're manifesting it, if you're paying attention to it, if you're bringing it back in your life. And so think about what you may be looking at, what you may be paying attention to. Is it time to let it go? Kind of like my movie reference. Is it time to let that go and start feeding your mind with something that's going to help you grow to the person you want to be? If you're trying to grow toward a purpose, a journey, or better yourself, or self-improvement, motivation, whatever that may look like in your life, If you're paying attention to fear, anger, hate, suffering, sadness, and you're feeding yourself that every day, what's going to show up in your life? But yeah, I wanted to talk about that today. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.